Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another phenomenal episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and will be making his debut at CCW Battle of the Throne and 1CW November Reign tomorrow, November 6th. He is Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who is a graduate of Flatbacks Wrestling Academy. He is one half of Missouri Business with Eli Perez. He is semi-good looking and fairly tall. Everybody, welcome to the show, the Space Cowboy, Stacee Alexander.
How we doing?
Stacee, how you doing today?
I'm chilling, man. Just
Awesome,
printed myself
awesome.
a couple new shirts, new merch, so we're
Nice.
feeling good.
Nice. Note to self, I gotta pick up a Space Cowboy t-shirt. I saw like when I first, so believe it or not, you're probably gonna think I'm just saying this because you're in front of me, but this is a true story. Believe it or not, before Cameron Walker and before Avery Bro mentioned you, I was like, wait a minute, that's the Space Cowboy. How I remembered you was that you had the Space Cowboy t-shirt.
Yep.
And I was like, oh snap, I saw what he did. He took Woody and he took Buzz from Toy Story and he made them one thing. And I'm a Toy Story fan, so I love me some Toy Story. But yeah, that was really cool, man. Definitely cool. Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm a merch fiend.
Hey, when you got a brand, you got to make it happen. You know, you gotta pull on all the stops. You know. Yeah. So first off, I gotta say thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to interview. We really and truly appreciate it. We know that y'all are down there at Flatbacks. Y'all are doing the damn thing, and pretty much planning your next steps in professional wrestling and so on. So we really appreciate you taking time out to just shoot the breeze about wrestling and so on.
Yeah.
And I saw one of your matches. It was with I was just watching it. It was with you and Merrick Donovan versus Coda. That was a pretty cool match. I like how y'all did the jousting match.
Yeah.
And y'all actually won it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, too, we didn't waste too much time on that thing. They got us out of there in about 5 minutes. So we gave it our all. But when you get turned into a horse, man, you can't train for that kind of thing.
Yeah. But man, GCW, oh geez, that's a definitely great promotion to step in the ring for. And I've been to one of their shows in Tampa. Very enjoyable.
Oh, they're great. It was nice too that they're in Tampa because it was Mania weekend's right down there. So the promoter's just like, hey, and I mean I don't know this for sure, but it's been told to me, so I'm telling it to you. Allegedly, we were the very first wrestling show on all of Mania weekend because we were a 9:30 start on Friday. So
okay,
don't know if that's actually true, but I'm gonna say it is because it sounds cool.
That's cool. That's definitely cool. So y'all were the first ones. So all the early birds and all the early bird wrestling enthusiasts. So only
you sound like you're underwater.
Am I breaking up?
Did you just fall in the pool?
No, I didn't.
Okay, no. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, this happens. But yeah, that's pretty cool though that y'all got to do that like bright and early in the morning.
Yep.
So that pretty much you wouldn't have to deal with the rush of all the other promotions because it's WrestleMania weekend is a great weekend for fans, but it's a bit of but I have a bit of like I can only imagine it's a bit of a rat race for the other promoters because they're like, hey, our show's at 4 o'clock, come see us. Then you have somebody saying, hey, our show's at 4 o'clock, come see us. So it's a matter of who can pretty much market their show better. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
but we have such and such that wrestle for WWE. Yeah, but we had this person that's wrestling for AEW right now. So yeah, you gotta love WrestleMania weekend.
Yep. And that show too, it was like ours wrapped up. And then my buddy runs Kayfabe Clothing, and he had a booth at the venue for the rest of the day. So it's like I got there at like 7 to set up, and I did my match. I changed clothes, and I was working the booth until 2 a.m. So I was just there watching. It was like 8 or 9 promotions run their shows, peddling T-shirts, exhausting. And then the next day I did a charity show for Matt Morgan's charity in Sanford. And on Sunday, I slept a lot.
Wow. Yeah, WrestleMania weekend. If I ever go back to another one, I'll probably like end up falling asleep because I went to the one in. I went to I had WrestleMania. I went to 2 WrestleMania weekends, but one of them I was like, I'm just gonna focus on this one independent show and that's it. But the first one I went to, which was actually the year before that one, which was WrestleMania 28 in Miami. I went to the crazy weekend started on Wednesday with meeting Rosa Mendez and DiBiase Jr. at a Walmart, and this was an official WWE signing. And then that later on that night, Lillian Garcia had a album release party, and I got to meet several WWE superstars from there. And then another, I think it was a Thursday, I had the Ring of Honor show, Supercard show, and then Friday nothing happened. I don't think it happened. But I think Saturday, yes, Saturday was actually the Hall of Fame, and Sunday was WrestleMania. So, come Monday, the following Monday, it felt like I just woken up from like some kind of drug-induced dream, So I gotta ask you. I asked like 95% of our guests this, but we're gonna take a trip back in time, and I just gotta ask, what was the pay-per-view or the promotion that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
This is gonna be the worst answer in the world, and I can almost guarantee that. I didn't start watching wrestling until 2016, 2017. So the first pay-per-view I ever watched live was Royal Rumble 2016 or 17. So I watched that, and then the retroactive, like I've watched other stuff, don't come at me, but like my retroactive pay-per-view that I watched back, and I was like, all right, this is cool. The specific match, RVD and Jeff Hardy, I want to say it was SummerSlam 01 ladder match. And they just did a bunch of cool stuff. And I was like, all right, this is jazzy, whatever. I was just dumb enough to decide to do it. And here we are. I wear a cowboy hat now.
Yeah. Hey, honestly, this not a worse answer. I mean, I know, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but I know one particular female wrestler, and she's never been on the show either, that didn't start watching until, let's see, she started wrestling around 2013, 2012. And the only reason why she got into it was because she happened to go to a show, and the promoter of that show saw her and was like, you look like you would be a great wrestler. She didn't know anything about wrestling prior to that. I mean, I'm sure she knew about Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and the popular guys that even people that aren't wrestling fans wouldn't know. But she didn't know anything about wrestling. And the promoter saw her and was like, hey, you would definitely make a great wrestler. And I think he recommended a school that she could train at. She ended up training there. And now these days, she's wrestled for AEW, WWE. She's wrestled for Impact. She wrestled for NWA recently, and so on. So, yeah, I mean, that's not a worse answer, man. Yeah. The fact of the matter is, you're a fan of it now. You're a wrestler now, and you're making it happen. I mean, you wrestled for GCW, like one of the biggest promotions in Florida. Like that's a huge step, man.
Yeah, they're cool. We got some fun stuff coming up too. We are Missouri business is in a weird spot. We So Eli and I, good friends, we just got thrown together. He came to a show with me in Miami. We're at Magic City, and somebody canceled, and he was just down there hanging out. The promoter's like, "Hey, man, you guys are a tag team." We're like, "Sweet." So we had the name already because we threw it around as a joke. But we are going forward. The next couple months, we got 2 dates in Canada. We are working our first festival. It's going to be in Texas. So we're heating up. Things are whatever gods are up there are looking down upon us fondly, at least for the next few months.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where, like my old teacher said, it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is where you end. So, and you guys are doing pretty well for yourselves. And I mean, Canada, wow, that's cool right there, man. I mean, you guys pretty much going overseas and whatnot. That's awesome. What was it like wrestling? I was gonna ask you, what was it like wrestling in Canada? Was it different from wrestling in America, or was it like pretty much the same thing?
So,
I mean, yeah, granted, they're part of North
Canada
America, but they're
next month. Not happening.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's not.
But so I trained initially in Canada. That's one of my. It's not in my bio. Surprise. So before Flatbacks, I was with Storm Lance at Storm Wrestling Academy. I was there in March of 2019, I think. So I was one of his last 5 or 6 classes, and then after that, I took a couple months off. Went to Flatbacks afterward. So it's connections I made up there during that have led to this booking.
Man, that's a great school, like Lance Storm's Wrestling Academy. I mean, it's apparently he closed it down, but when it was running, like, whoa, that's one of the best. I mean, Rachel Ellering was there. Brian Pillman Jr. wrestled there. He trained there. I'm trying to think who else was there.
They got Dominic, Breeze, Jericho trained there when he was going for his return.
This Chelsea Green, she wrestled there. Yeah, that was wow. That's a pretty good start. Yeah. So your first wrestling match, how'd that go for you? Like, were you nervous, or were you like, you know what, I got this? You know, I had enough training from some of the best, or was it a mixture of both?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a healthy mix of the two. It's a situation where, I mean, you know, nerves. I was a healthy amount of nervous. I'm not like a crazy nervous person. I did a bunch of stage stuff in high school and the years leading up to it. So, like, generally being in front of people, I'm completely cool. And there's a point in my nervousness where I'll just be like, all right, well, this is stupid. I'm done with being nervous. My first match didn't go well, Lord knows. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those, it goes well or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you learn. And if it goes well, you learn less. And you're not supposed to have a good first match. It's no fun. It's not a fun story that way.
Yeah, I know some people that they rather not talk about it. They're like, it's in a vault 6 feet underground somewhere, it'll never be seen. So I've heard many different answers on that.
It did get taken off of the streaming website it was on. It got ripped off the show. So the footage is out there somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't have it, and neither do the fans of Go Wrestle Daytona.
Oh. So the Space Cowboy, that's a cool name, man. You just took like 2 iconic characters and then like, boom, you know, like brought them together. So I gotta ask you, like, so sci-fi or Western, on your spare time when you're not in the ring kicking butt and taking names, which one do you like to put on more? Which one do you like to watch more?
Gotcha. So I'm just a huge movie person in general. There's not much I won't watch. I would say probably more sci-fi, but just because, like, timeline wise, nowadays it's way more accessible. There's not a lot of Westerns getting made anymore. They're not as sexy as sci-fi to people right now. But I mean, I'll throw on anything. And actually, so it's funny you say the Space Cowboy thing. It didn't come from Toy Story, actually. It came from it's a lovely branch off of Toy Story, and makes a nice logo, but it's a I mean, it kind of comes from Toy Story. It comes from the same thing Toy Story comes from. But there's a phenomena in Americana where in like the 70s, kids quit telling their parents that they wanted to be cowboys because Kennedy sent us to the moon. And that's BA as heck. So they're like, you know what? I want to be an astronaut. And so the initial Space Cowboy name came from Stacee Alexander is the amalgamation of what everybody wanted to be when they grew up, whether they're old or young. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess that's Toy Story too. So it just, it was a happy little accident with that. I've also never seen Cowboy Bebop, if that was a question later in the show. Never seen it. Apparently he's a space cowboy too.
Okay. My bad. I didn't mean to assume that was from Toy Story. I just saw the logo. I was like, yeah, but Space Cowboy, yeah, that's definitely a cool thing, man. I gotta, like I said, I don't normally tell a lot of our guests this, but I definitely got to get one of those shirts, man. That shirt just looks cool, man. But yeah, but I just got two more questions before I turn it over to Rob. So I know, and by the way, if you're an anime fan and and you like other anime besides Cowboy Bebop, he's gonna ask you a ton of questions about that. So yeah, that's his thing. But so in terms of Missouri business, yourself and Eli Perez, y'all are doing the damn thing, kicking butt all over the country, all over the world now, because you guys are going to go to Canada real soon, and hopefully that leads to even more overseas bookings, like in England, Europe, Japan, and all that. But there are many tag teams in AEW, WWE, pretty much all of professional wrestling. So what are some tag teams? I'd say top 5. If you got more, you could feel free to mention them as well. What are some tag teams that you would want to see yourself and Eli go up against?
Do you want semi-attainable answers? We'll start with semi-attainable ones. So
sure, go ahead.
The first Missouri business match was against two lovely gentlemen that go by the name of Scrotus. That is Dan Lydon and Scyther. They operate out of Fort Myers, Florida. And Eli and I got thrown together. We didn't get quite as much preparation as we would like. So down the line, I would love to get in there with Scrotus again. Of course, the only cams, although they are at the moment exclusive to ARW, and we do not work there. So that's a down the line answer. But both of those gentlemen have driven with me to shows, those gentlemen being the only cams. I think we'd be able to do something fun in there, give people a show they deserve. What other people would I like to wrestle? I'm at 2.0 doing the narrative 2.0 are some great guys, very funny. I think promos alone, we could sell that match. And they're obviously great in the ring. That'd be lovely. You asked for 5. 2 more. I would like the Insiders to come out of retirement. That is Kevin Nash and Diamond Dallas Page. I would like to fight 2 very old men. That would be fun, at least. And another one. We'll go EC3 and Adam Scher, who are taking they got their first show up in Wisconsin next month. And they're 2 guys that I've run into a few times that, why not,
Yeah, those would all be interesting matches, especially the one with y'all and with Missouri Business versus Only Cams. Especially since I saw that you actually teamed with Cameron Walker one time.
Oh, more than one time. We got T-shirts, brother.
I only saw that one match. I definitely gotta check out the others, but yeah, that would be very interesting to see how it would be when y'all face off in the ring, like that whole awkward standoff, like the first time Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder faced off in different tag teams, and they just looked at each other and you were like, it gives you that that excitement, like, oh gosh, it's gonna happen. Like these 2 guys were tag teams, yeah, now they're gonna face off. What's gonna happen? That'd be very interesting.
We'll get there eventually. It's all inevitable. Florida's a small state, except it's not.
Yeah. So my last question: when you're getting ready for a match, or when you're in the gym knocking out some reps, doing some cardio, hitting the weights and whatnot, what are some songs that get the Space Cowboy into that zone, that mode where it's time to go and cause some hell?
This is going to be weird answers too. Right now, I'm so hot on this. I think it's technically the girl's name. She's got a band. I don't know. Royal and the Serpent. I mean, dear God, it's weird music. It's like punky rap, little pop punk, something or other. But she's sick. I saw her at a festival in Vegas a couple weeks ago. Sleeping with Sirens is another one right now. I listen to a lot of NSYNC, a lot of David Lee Roth solo stuff, some Van Halen. Motley Crue's an easy answer, but definitely right now, Royal and the Serpent is my number one through the rotation.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, I honestly don't feel bad because my gym workout list is pretty much all over the place. I got Limp Bizkit on one side, Hollywood Undead, some Cottonmouth Kings, and then I might switch over to Carly Rae Jepsen, or maybe some Owl City. Y'all don't judge me. I'm a weird guy.
I'm a huge Lady Gaga too.
Yeah. Although I do enjoy Sweet Little Psycho by Ava Max as well. I actually enjoy that. That's a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine too as well. You know. But yeah, hey, like I always say, whatever helps you knock out those reps, or whatever helps you get to that goal, you know, it is what it is.
No doubt.
So I'm going to turn it over to Rob. I know Rob asked some questions. So Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Rob.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Robbie. So what's going on, man? How's everything going your way?
I'm just sweating. It stinks. I'm wearing a jacket. I'm inside. I'm in Florida. But
man, I know how it is, man. Oh, yeah, man. That humidity out there, try tearing it up. And yeah, man. Hey, I'm inside, man. We got the I'm here in Delaware. We got the actual fall weather here now, man. We got seasons, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, dropping down to 30 something tonight.
Yeah. I'm in Indianapolis next weekend. It's been like 28 there the last couple mornings. Going to be an extra long warm up before that match.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We got a little Survivor Series action because it's November, and that's what we do in November.
Yeah, we need some eliminations. You need teams versus teams.
Mm-hmm.
One team, two teams enter, one team leaves. You know what I mean? One stands tall. That's right. Oh man, yeah, I can't. Oh man, that 20-degree stuff, man. Because last night we were doing training and took the ring down and stuff, ready for the show Saturday. And yeah, it was kind of cold and stuff, man. The heaters didn't get there yet and all. And it's like, all right, yeah, I'm over there trying, running around doing stuff, in my hoodies and stuff, man. Like, oh yeah, here we go, man.
Yeah. Canada's the same way, obviously. That was January through March in Canada was not the greatest weather to train in.
Oh man, yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because I seen you trained with Lance Storm and stuff, man. Like, how did you come across getting up with Lance Storm? Going up there to Canada, man. Like, what was it like training with him? Because I remember him in WCW, like coming in and destroying everybody, holding all the gold. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's the Lance Storm I remember. That badass. You know what I mean?
No, he's great. I mean, age gets to us all, but Lance fought it off as long as he possibly could. So the weirdest thing about my Storm class is I was not supposed to be there. Apparently, I messed up my payment thing, and so I got the acceptance email and all that stuff. Like, hey, yeah, come on up, send us half the money through. It's like Western Union, and I had never done a Western Union transfer before, so I don't know what the heck's going on. Just give the lady however much money it was, fire it away, sweet. And it's like, okay, pay your half before and then show up the first day of training with the second half. And so I was living in Nashville at the time, quit my job, break up with my girlfriend, put my stuff in the car. I drove 25 hours to Canada, and I get there first day. We're all sitting in this semicircle of chairs, and Lance is just sitting there drinking his Tim Hortons coffee, talking to his wife. Time comes, like, all right, you got your, it's like a doctor's note. You got to sign the waiver and then give us your second half of the money. And his wife handled all the money and stuff. So we go through and I sign my stuff and I go to hand her my money. She's like, what's your name? I told her and she's like, yeah, no, I don't have you here. I was like, what you mean? She's like, yeah, no, we don't. You're not in the file. I was like, well, what are we going to do about that? She was like, I don't know, just give me your money. I was like, sick. So grace of God, they let me stay. But that was he's great, man. He was super cool. Chris Knight was the other guy that was up there with him. He would work in with us 2 or 3 times a week. He was a certified DDP yoga instructor and an indie wrestler up in Calgary. So he'd warm us up, and then he'd take the bumps Lance didn't want to. But it was a cool 3 months. I met a lot of cool guys up there that are doing a lot of things. Guys working in Mexico, England, New Zealand, SoCal. Not as extravagant as the other place. I probably should have started with there. There's a dude in France. So a lot of cool guys. And that's like, training with guys for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months. Can't help but be friendly with one another eventually.
That's right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Lance Storm's going all around the world, man. New Zealand and stuff. In New Zealand there with they got the Tasmanian Devils over there. Is that Australia?
So. Well, I don't know.
I always want to go there to see if they really cause tornadoes when they move. You know what I mean? Because I want to know that, man. Yeah, if you go there and they move and you're like, oh man, tornado. You're like, no, it's just a Tasmanian devil. You're good. Like,
don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Because sometimes, I've seen that. Sometimes in the Midwest, is that a tornado? It could be a Tasmanian devil. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. Let's be sure. So then, how'd you get up with going to Flatbacks? Training over there, man. That's that's pretty cool, man. There's some connections there too. It's like, man, you were training Lance Storm. Come on in, man. We got you, man. Lance Storm's the man.
Yeah. So I was class number 1 at Flatbacks, the semi-recognized class. If you go on the website, it was whose was it? So Spears did a seminar at a local spot down in Orlando. I was visiting family in Tampa. And it was like $45 or something or rather, 3-hour seminar. I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Easy enough. And then it ended up being Spears, Breeze, and Billy Gunn was there. And we punched and kicked each other for 3 hours, super chill. And I thought they had a cool style of training that was very different than Lance. And they were just mad helpful. So whatever, like a month passed. And they tweeted out like, hey, who wants to learn how to be a wrestler? And whatever, with the little Flatbacks logo. I emailed the Gmail thing, and they were like, all right, can you be in Apopka, Florida in 8 days? And I said, sure. I lived in Indianapolis at the time, same deal. Put everything in the car, found an apartment, gave them a lot of money, moved down. Day 1 of the class, it was just me and Sarah Lee. Day 2 of the class, it's dude Chris from upstate New York came down. Let's see, week 4 or 5, Dasha came in. Week 9-ish, Renee Michelle got added. So, and then Chris got hurt, so it was just me and a bunch of ladies, all punching each other in the face for a couple months. And then most of us extended on for a second class. And then I've only been back twice since my second class wrapped. The second time I dislocated my knee. Ooh. And it happens. It happens so many times every year. My knees hate my guts. I have a torn meniscus. They love to get dislocated. Whatever, man. But yeah, so it was just that. They tweeted, and I happened to not have a life enough to move to Florida on 8-day notice. But they were good. They were good to me for those couple months. Good guys. Billy Gunn came in quite a few times. Brody Lee came in quite a few times. He fixed my absolutely wretched clothesline. And, it was a good time.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, got a little Brody Lee story, man. That fix your clothesline, man. That is awesome, man. Yeah.
It was just so bad.
So Sarah Lee. Sarah Lee, that name rings a bell. Isn't she the Tough Enough contestant from a couple years ago? Very strong woman. Yeah, Tough Enough winner.
Yeah.
I remembered her. Go ahead, Rob. My bad.
That's awesome. Oh no, you're good, man. You're good. So, man, I gotta say, you're down there in Florida. Have you ever seen the Uncle Luke bus? You're wrestling down there in Miami. Luther Campbell. I don't know if you know who he is, man. Rapper, 2 Live Crew. But have you ever seen his bus going around out there, man? You haven't partied on there? Oh, man. I went down to Florida when I was 19 or whatever, and a buddy of mine, his brother or cousin or whatever, worked at a radio station and had a bachelor party. And they got the Luther Campbell girls coming up there and stuff and all. No, I was just I didn't know if you had that party, you seen that party bus or whatever out there.
I don't spend too much time in Miami when I'm there. I get to town, I show up at the venue, I eat Chinese food, and I drive back home.
That's cool. I did see you're always eating some food, man. Do you always go out and do that exotic food, man? Are you out there like let me get that crazy thing over there? Let me try that.
We're big brunch folk, Eli and myself. Avery dabbles. She's not as much of a believer as we are, but it's one of those things like shows are late, so you're very limited always on what you can eat. So anything you can find that's not an Arby's at a Love's truck stop is always going to be cool. I'm a big Mexican food or Chinese food after matches person, so that's just where we tend to gravitate. But it's, big brunch people, big Chinese food, Mexican food folk. But once you get to 10, 11 o'clock, it's really whatever you can get your hands on.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that late at night. Yeah, But hey, you always got Taco Bell, so if you need that, that I guess
not for me.
Mexican food. Not for you. Yeah. Well, I guess depending on how long the road trip is, man. If it's like, well, I'm close to home, you should be all right. If it's anything longer than that, man, roll on out. And you're talking about, man, a little bit, Grammy, your music, man. You like 80s hair bands and stuff like David Lee Roth, Van Halen. Now, do you like Van Halen, and how do you feel about Van Hagar, man? Because I like Van Halen, and something about Sammy Hagar, I was like, I don't like Van Hagar, man.
So it's David Lee Roth's my all-time favorite singer. He's from Indiana. I'm from Indiana. That's cool. I spent way too much money on his show in Vegas that's in January because he's doing 5 more concerts until he retires, unless he doesn't. I saw Sammy Hagar 3 years ago with his band. It is an irrefutable fact that Sammy Hagar is a better singer than David Lee Roth. He just is. But David Lee Roth is better at everything else on earth than Sammy Hagar is. I love Sammy Hagar a lot. I like Van Hagar, but it is not. David Lee Roth, first 5 albums can't be touched.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was a kid, man, turn on MTV, man, that video all the time. I'm so sad and alone.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that song. That's in my playlist, man. Yeah, David Lee Roth, I like him, man. He's real good. So do you like any other 80s hair bands that you like, man? I did see on there, man, you're always our past guest, AV Bro, you're always sending her, I guess, music or something. And she doesn't appreciate it, man. So is it that 80s hair band music, man? Like,
she always listens. That's what matters. You can like it, you can dislike it. She always listens. That's my most recent thing. I sent her a Royal and the Serpent playlist. Callbacks. Huge Van Halen. I saw Vince Neil a couple months ago before he fell off stage and cracked his ribs. I've seen Def Leppard twice. I've seen Poison twice. I've seen Tesla like 4 times because they warm up for every band that's ever existed. I've seen Joan Jett twice. I've seen Styx, REO Speedwagon. I love concerts. I'm a concert person. I'm a music person. There's not much I won't sit through. But yeah, hair bands are Bon Jovi. I saw them so long ago at this point, but I love it all.
That's right. Hey, man, that's cool, man. Yeah, go and see all those concerts, man. I like just listening to it, man. I'm not a concert person, man. I go there and I'm like, I like this song, yeah. But people rock out and all. I'm like, man, I don't want to go and ruin people's time, man, because I'm like, I'm just chill, Yep.
No, I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'll just chill, man. Because but why aren't you doing anything? I'm having fun, I'm just jamming. This is what I do, But yeah, oh man.
How was REO Speedwagon? Because I know 2 songs for them. I'm gonna keep on loving you, and one of my other favorites, I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore.
Yeah,
those are 2 of my favorite songs.
It's my go-to karaoke song. They were good. It was a weird one though, because it was that lineup was Tesla, Speedwagon, and Def Leppard. And Def Leppard tours every single year with the exact same set. They never change it. But when you've been singing the same song since the 80s, you don't really have to change it much. And like half the crowd left after Speedwagon because Speedwagon doesn't do nearly as much touring. So it was super strange. They killed it. It's the same thing. You've been singing the same song since the 80s. You're going to be good at it, and they're not going to suck.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah, I heard they're good. I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. They're pretty good group, I did like The Chain, man. That song, every time I hear it, I'm like, I'm getting hyped. Plus, Guardians of the Galaxy, when they had that
song.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Chain. Never. Oh man, never break the chain. So I was also doing some research, man. He got to meet Vader before he passed or whatever, man.
Yeah.
Man, what was the meeting the
You did a
big
lot
man
of
like?
research.
Yeah, what was the big man? I was going to ask about Cody too, man. But
Yeah.
Vader, man, I had to ask about Vader, man. Like, yeah, what was it like meeting him, the big man? The mastodon. Just,
So
woo.
it what was that? 2017 probably. It was like 8 weeks after the post where he had 6 weeks to live. Like it was right in the thick of it as far as health concerns and stuff. And the other people at that convention were bigger names and less niche names than him. So the lineup of people was Kevin Nash, Steamboat, Jeff Hardy, Vader, and Ric Flair. I love Vader, but come on. And so nobody was spending their money to go over to Vader. And it was one of those things where, well, I know, but hey, when you're sitting next to Ric Flair, it's hard to get a seat.
I feel it, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to turn ahead from anybody. So it was one of those, I was like, all right, well, this is Vader, big guy stuff, whatever. And I just sat down next to him. We talked for 5 or 10 minutes. He was super chill. He wasn't in the best mood because, again, doctors told him he was going to die soon. So you can't be too chipper. But he was cool. He was chill. Threw the mask on for the picture. Signed a little 8x10. He was a good guy.
That's awesome. And then you also got meet Cody Rhodes, man. That's my trainer's favorite wrestler, man. Well, it wasn't like meeting him, man. I heard he's cool, man. Cody's a real cool dude, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was cool to me. It's easy to be cool at a gimmick table. I don't know him in life, but it was NWA 70. He was chill. It was I lived in Nashville, so I just dipped down to the show. He told me I wasn't in good enough shape because I wasn't, and I'm still not. And yeah, but he was a cool dude. He had a line out the door.
I believe it. Yeah. Oh man, Cody. Yeah, Cody. Oh yeah, I believe that. So I gotta ask, man. You were talking about earlier, man, Cam Walker and stuff, and y'all were a tag team. I got to see that Team Florida, right? Is that what y'all's tag team name was?
Do what?
Was it Team Florida? You and Cameron Walker? Was that your name?
At one point, we were Team Florida because we did not have a name. Last Call was our proper name.
Okay.
That we put on T-shirts, but was it the Widowmakers, the one that you saw?
I can't remember. It was one of them. I see.
Yeah.
It was yeah. I was. What had it said, man? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was our first match. So they were just. It was one of those. All right, coming to the ring. What do we call you? I don't know. Team Florida.
There you go. So what happened to y'all, man? Did y'all just end up going your separate ways? Like, oh man, I have to go over here and.
He moved. The jerk.
Oh man.
He lived in my house for a year and then he moved back to Texas. No.
Man.
I don't know. I think Only Cams got started the same way as Misery Business, more or less, in the sense that someone was like, "You're tagging now." I don't know that to be a fact, but I mean that's how Last Call got started too. I showed up and did 3 run-ins on his matches. That's how every tag team gets started, unless you have the same parents, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he moved back to Texas. We couldn't really take tag bookings so much when we were states away. And I mean, greener pastures. I don't know. I think we're both better for it. We had a Last Call revival at Wrestling Theology Fellowship in Indianapolis 2 months ago against the All-Nighters of Virginia. But, if anybody wants Last Call, I'm sure we can still make it happen. But, he's got Only Cams right now. I've got Missouri Business. I think we're both happy about it.
That's right. Yeah, because Missouri Business is definitely taking care of business. You know what I mean? Wherever they go, man. They going in that. Y'all going in that ring, you dispense justice. That's what I describe y'all as, man. Whew, man. So I gotta ask, man, your boots and stuff, man. I've seen you do that, 360 and boot, man. Your boots got kind of give me that test vibes, man. You're tall, coming in with that boot, hitting them in the face, man. So who makes your boots and the gear or whatever, man? Because whoever does that does a great job, man. 'Cause your boots, man, yeah, especially they going up on somebody's face.
Boots or Zaire is how I think you say his name. Down in Mexico, never met him, know him through email. Good enough guy to me. That's all I care about. But he makes a lovely boot. He makes a bunch of people's boots. He's a cool Instagram follow if y'all are into that kind of thing. First set of gear was Main Event gear. My second set of gear was made by sports entertainment gear. He's one of the 2 AEW seamstresses, and I've got a couple feelers out for a new set. But it is hard to get a hold of a gear maker almost always. And by almost, I mean always.
So you must have had some terrible things trying to get some gear, huh?
I mean, it's not terrible. It's just one of those things, you know? Like, they got, on the hierarchy of people that need tight pants, I do not lie near the top, you know? There's a lot, like, that was my first set of gear. It was, it's the guy that makes New Day's gear, and they got a new pair of pants every single month. So he's firing out 3 pairs a month to them, and Alexa Bliss he made for as well, and she gets a new set just about every 2 months. She was like, yeah, man, we'll get to you. I was like, yeah, I understand. I'm not happy about it, but that's more than fair. And so it's just it's hard to get a pair of pants made sometimes, man. If I were a sewer, I'd make my own, but I'm not.
That's main event gear that makes New Day's gear, right?
Yeah.
Trust me, they're hard for you to get a hold of to make gear. They're hard for me to actually get a hold of to be on the show. We still have yet to get a gear maker on here. We even found the one that did Thunder Rosa's gear, and she was when she made her Impact appearance, and she was kind of hard to get a hold of. And even when we did, she was busy. So yeah, that's the life.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, man, when you were living in Nashville, Memphis, and all that, did you ever go see Grace? Did you ever go to Graceland? And did you ever see Johnny Cash's house?
So, we went to Graceland 2 trips ago to Memphis. We just dipped over to Graceland. It was me and both of the Cams, actually. We just had like 12 hours to kill. There's not a lot to do in Dyersburg, Tennessee. I don't feel like I'm speaking ill of the town by saying that, but I've been told the best pizza in Dyersburg is from Casey's General Store. I love the people that live there. I love the town, but event-wise, there's not a lot happening, and it's 90 minutes from Memphis. So we just biffed over, took a lap around. We did not pay the $90 admission because that was in excess. And then I've not been to Johnny Cash's house. Now I've been to his bar in Nashville. It's nice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we Graceland. We hit Beale Street. I wrestled on Beale Street with Mid-South the last time we were over there. No, never Johnny Cash's house.
Oh, okay, that's cool though, man. Yeah, I didn't know it was that expensive to get up in Elvis's house, man. $90. I figured it'd be like, yeah, like normal price, like $20-$30 something, you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's roll. $100, you know. Like, oh man, I'm good with checking the King stuff out, man. I can see it on the internet, man. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing, man. So I gotta ask, man. You say you're into movies and all that, man. Are there any new movies or TV shows that you're into right now? Because I always get stuck watching the same stuff.
I mean, new, not really. I'm a Marvel movie guy. I'll see every Marvel movie in theaters, even if people tell me it sucks, just because I don't want to miss anything from the next one. They've really got us backed into a corner as a society. I admire them for it, and I will continue to be a sheep for Marvel, a shill for Disney, because that is my nature. Movie stuff, I mean, what have I been watching? Wind River's great. Prisoners is great. Green Mile's great, but it's sad.
Yeah.
Fight Club. Free the Narrative 2 is not a movie. It's a demonstration. There's the air compressor.
There you go.
Yep. There's that T-shirt shop. You never know what sounds you're going to hear. But yeah, Free the Narrative 2 I've watched a lot lately because I'm in the background of it. Nice little 90-minute thing.
Where are you in the background at, man?
All over the place. I'm the lead project, brother.
Oh, word up. Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And where can we see that at? Is that on Netflix or anything?
It's free on YouTube now. It was It was on Fight TV for a while. Control Your Narrative on YouTube. Hit them up on Instagram. Easy stuff. It's Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman's first non-WWE match. EC3, Matt Taven, Pero, Bill Carr. Who else is on that thing? Weston Blake. Close personal friend of mine, Weston Blake. And yeah, they're doing good stuff.
That's pretty cool, man. Man, yeah, I'm with you at the Marvel CU, man. Like whatever you want to say, yeah, they got me hook, line, and
Yeah.
sinker. You know what I mean? Yeah, Eternals came out Friday. I think that's the only one I haven't seen yet.
Yep.
But I will see it before Spider-Man comes out. You know?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna see it. Or no, yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, I haven't seen the Ten Rings either. There's two I gotta check out.
It was all right. I didn't like the last quarter of it, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, I did see Loki and stuff, man. So I'm pretty excited how they're gonna do that, man. You know the little multiverse type deal. I'm like, okay, that's right. Now I did get to see, man. You seen Stan Lee. Well, I guess you got to be within proximity
He
of
was
him.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you yell out to him? Did you yell out something like "You the man" or something, man? 'Cause like if I seen like I don't know, like Ben Affleck, I'd just be like, "Affleck, you the bomb in finals,
No,
yo."
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
Something
like-
like that.
I just went, yeah, man, it's Stan. He was like,
Nice.
didn't have a
That's
conversation. Right. He didn't have time.
Yeah. You didn't go Excelsior or something, man.
No, Stan.
Oh man,
It's me.
That's right.
It was me.
Yep. Hey man, remember me, man? You know, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh no, you're like, yeah, I'm 95, man. You know, hey, yeah, I could have met him before. Yeah, that's right. So man, when did you start and get into the space stuff and all, man? Were you all a little kid, into the space stuff, man, and all that, because when I for a little period of time, I wanted to be an astronaut because I used to get these magazines. My aunt got me like National Geographic, Ranger Rick, you know what I mean, in the mail. And I remember reading one time in an article it said astronauts get all the tang that they want, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be an astronaut. Yeah, all right, yeah. This is what I'm going. Then I found out they're talking about tang, the orange drink, and I was like, oh well, yeah, I'm good, man. You know what I mean? Let me do other things, So when were you, into that, man? Or
yeah, no, I as a kid I wanted to be an astronaut until I found out that you had to stay in college to do that. So it didn't last long. Now I've always been more of a cowboy than a space. I think it's far more attainable. Space is far. Who's to say how far? But it's objectively farther than the nearest cow. Further than the nearest cow. I think I just said the word farer. I don't remember for sure, but I think I just did that.
Hey, it's all good. I say all kinds of crazy things on here, like yonk too. You know what I mean? Hey man, did you bring that over here, man? No, I didn't, man. We gotta go back and get yonk too. All right, man, let's go. Or hammer. It's like, what do you want for dinner? Hammer steak. So stuff like that. I do those Jeff Foxworthy words, man. Nice. I have an air compressor in my shed, man. And it'll go off if I leave it on.
It just fires off sometimes.
If I leave it on, if I don't shut it off, it'll just randomly. I'll just sit outside and it's like, whoa, I gotta turn it off. Oh man. So I gotta ask, man, when's your next show? Do you have one this weekend? Do you have one coming up?
I got a Sunday show with the other tag team, the Wild West. It is Luke Curtis and myself. He is certified Luke Curtis. He and I are wrestling one of the Cams and NWA's Jamie Stanley, who you can also see in Free the Narrative too. They are going to be the Party Boys. We got pro wrestling action in beautiful, historic, scenic downtown Sanford, Florida. And then we're going to get drunk at the bar afterwards after we win. It'll be a beautiful thing.
Hey man, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Good do your thing, man. So what's the after match drink, man? Are you a Jack Daniels type dude?
No, I hate Jack Daniels. I don't believe in it. I'm a Jameson guy.
Jameson? All right, yeah, Jameson. Yeah, Jameson, and that's the red stuff, right?
Oh, green bottle.
Green bottle? Okay, yeah, okay. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink, man. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just know basic stuff, you know what I mean? I'm a Jack, Jim. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I know that. That's the big thing here. Natty Lights. Oh, yeah, I know that. So before I pass it on back to Remy and stuff, man, I just want to ask, are there any, like funny road backstage stories, that have happened over, since you've been training? Like maybe somebody forgot their gear, you got they got Frankenstein some stuff, or something crazy on the road happened, like gears run out, the racing alongside or something.
Did Cameron Walker tell you about his first set of gear?
No, I don't think he told us that story.
Okay.
I think he said something else.
So I dabble in gear design. I design my stuff. It's whatever. But so he had me design this set of gear for him. I didn't love how they looked, but I did what he asked. And I was like, "Who'd you use for the makings of it?" And he just said some random lady. He gets to his first show and sits down, puts his gimmicks on, sits down. And they're going through the match, and then I was like, "Hey man, you know you got a hole in your crotch."
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. And she, like, just the, like, where the legs connect, the seam wasn't double stitched, and so it was just opening up between the legs of his pants. So he starts freaking out. He was like, "I didn't bring my singlet, man. Like, what am I supposed to do?" I was like, "I don't know. You better learn to sew." And so some dude backstage just had like a needle and fishing line. He's just back there doing his best. It did not hold. And I honestly think he's not worn those in a match since then, because he doesn't trust them anymore, which is fair. But, you know, seamstresses aren't that expensive. Driving around stories, we leave people at gas stations a lot, but we always come back for them, so it's not as funny as it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing too wild.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, nothing too wild, man. Oh man, yeah, I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, the gear, you know, you're there at the show, man. That's got to be a pit in your stomach, man. It just rips right there too. You're like,
Yeah.
oh man,
No,
I'm gonna be
it's a tough
flashing
place to be
everybody.
in.
It's like, oh man, I don't know what I'd do, but like, you got a towel or something, I'll just wear it right here, so at least something, you know. They'd be like, what in the world? Like, oh man. But oh man, that's great. But yeah, I do want to say, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us, man. I had a blast chatting with you. I wish you nothing but the success, man. I wish
Y'all too.
oh yeah, man. I wish you nothing but the best this weekend. You're going out there and tear it up, start kicking butt. I hope you and but all your tag teams or whatever, even your singles career, you start going around the world, the country, getting all that gold, just like your trainer Lance Storm, man. So you can take that picture like he did, belts everywhere, that Ultimate Dragon type deal. That's right. All right, Remy.
Stacey, thank you very much for, taking time out of your busy schedule to be on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. We know you're a busy man. You got 2 tag teams. You got Missouri Business and you got Wild West and whatnot. So we really and truly appreciate you, just giving us the opportunity to, let you tell your story and so on. And tell Eli Perez we're coming for him soon. So don't go too far.
No doubt.
Don't ride off into the sunset too quick, because the team of Remy and Rob and our other co-host Kathy, we're gonna be looking to hear from him as well too. So
I'll let him know.
Yeah, but I just gotta say, y'all are doing the damn thing down there in Flatbacks, and I myself, we're very impressed with what y'all been doing down there as well. So now it's like, not only do we have to look at the Nightmare Factory, but now we gotta look at, which is up in Georgia, but now we gotta look at Flatbacks over there in Florida, because y'all are just, pretty much making it happen. And it all started with one person, Cameron Stewart. I saw him. I was impressed with his work he did with TSF on AEW Dark. And then lo and behold, he's in a tag team. Only Cams? Okay, let's see what the other guy is doing. Let's talk to the other guy and see what he's about. Wait, he's in another team called Only Bros. Let's talk to Avery Bro. And then all of a sudden, both them mention you, and I'm like, oh, I know that guy. That's a Space Cowboy. Wait, the Space Cowboys in 2 tag teams? Oh, I got to talk to them too. And I think there's a female that actually accompanies y'all too as well in the Wild West.
Yeah, Layla.
So, yeah. So now we got to talk to her, and so it's all like, it's all connecting and so on. But that's why we love doing what we do here at Ringside Society, because it's just so many people to talk to, so many stories to hear and so on. So, but it's about time for us to shut down this show. But before we pretty much shut it down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out when your next wrestling appearance is, or when they want to purchase, Space Cowboy merchandise or Wild West merchandise or Missouri Business merchandise? And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Yep, the Space Cowboy Stacee Alexander on Facebook. I am Cowboy Stacey on Twitter. Your Space Cowboy on Instagram. Stacey is spelled with 2 E's. My booking email is bookthespacecowboy@gmail.com. Merch links are in all of my Linktree gimmicks on all social medias. I don't have anything up on YouTube, so just Google me if you want to see me work. And yeah, Instagram is definitely where I'm most active at Your Space Cowboy.
Awesome. So I'll definitely make sure y'all follow this man. He's doing great things, not just for himself, but for the love of the game. So definitely give him a follow. If you can't make the shows he's at, cop some Space Cowboy merchandise. If you don't cop some Space Cowboy merchandise, I'm not only gonna let Rob eat all your food, all three of your meals. I'm gonna make sure I go to your favorite bar and make sure they give you sugar water when you think it's Johnny Walker Black, or whatever other beverages. I'll make sure they put sugar and food coloring with water in it. So yeah, you'll be doubly depressed. So make sure you follow this man. And if you're a fan, buy the merchandise. That's how you support indie wrestling. If you can't make the shows, you buy some merch and whatnot. So with that being said, it's about time for us to end the show. Rob Base, man, you got a big day tomorrow, bro. Your refereeing debut, man. 1CW in Houston, Delaware. That's right. Those of y'all in Houston, Delaware, shout out to Marcello, Sean Hardy, and Sean Carlson. You're getting a 2-for-1 offer. For one price, you're getting 2 wrestling shows, many great men and women to see in action. So definitely check it out. And you're also going to get to see my co-host, my tag team partner, Rob Base, in his refereeing debut. So you definitely don't want to miss it. But Rob, where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out when your next refereeing appearance is after this one, and also find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right. You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Rob_Base82, and then Facebook, YouTube, Rob Base.
And if you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool or interesting to say, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. You can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. However, our podcast is also on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter under @Ringside Society. We're on Twitch under @Ringside Society 2019. That's one of our platforms that we stream at. We also have a Facebook group. Yes, if you type in Ringside Society, that's us. That's another area that's another platform that we stream on. And we also have a YouTube channel. Yes, we have many great interviews like this one, Cameron Walker, Cameron Stewart, Avery Bro, many more to come from Flatbacks, many more to come from Nightmare Factory. And so yeah, definitely just go to YouTube, type in Ringside Society. Once you see that sweet, oh my gosh, dark blue and light blue yin yang sign with blue flames around it, that's us. So subscribe, and don't personalize it. Subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming your way. But with that being said, forgetting something. Oh yes, we're also on Spotify now. So definitely check us out on Spotify. We have our first 2 seasons up there. We're in the process of uploading more. So just bear with us. We have a lot of stuff to put on there. And we also have a Teespring store. Yes, we have a Teespring store where we sell our merchandise. We have shirts, we have tank tops, we have long sleeve shirts. We also have hoodies. Yes, it's hoodie season now. So, we got all types of hoodies in all colors. So definitely check us out there. And we also have coffee mugs for your favorite beverage, whether it be hot chocolate with marshmallows, pumpkin spice lattes, green tea lattes, or good old black coffee. We got the cups for you as well too. So definitely check us out. Cop some merch. All proceeds from those sales go back into keeping this show afloat. So trust me, it's not going into our pockets. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. We really and truly appreciate it. It shows that we're doing something right. To those y'all that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Base at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. But with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we here at Ringside Society understand that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. Hey, yo, Rob Base. The Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover. The Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. The Eminem to my Royce the 5'9". One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for one half of Missouri business, the Space Cowboy Stacee Alexander.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Sai, and we'll be back this Sunday with another outstanding episode with another outstanding guest. But until then, we're still going through a pandemic. So stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Y'all take it
See
easy.
y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.